Hey guys, Nick here, and today we're going to talk about starship traits for tanking. But before we get started, I just want to quickly mention from today's stream, we've had a little bit of I won't say breakthrough, an occurrence. That'd be the right word. Um, I've made a free to play account. I was just we were just discussing things as we do on the live stream, bits and pieces here and there, and a question arose about what would you get, and I'm just like, I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I would get History Remember. I would get ETM. For the Lobby, I'd probably get the Kawavi. I would get Boimler. I would get the Bowl two piece on a sale. And then for the promo ship, I'd probably get the DPRM. And I'm like, well, you'd actually have a fair few pieces to build up a successful tank. So, and then I was like, okay, not going to think about it, not going to do it. Um, but in Discord tonight, tonight with the guys, um, they were like, well, the KDF event's about to end. You better do it. If you want to do it tonight so that you get Withering Barrage for free, because then you won't be able to for another year, and that's ending tonight. So I was like, okay, may as well do it. Let's do it. Let's get it started. And so, no promises, but I have a free to play account now. And potentially in the end of this year, I will have a free to play elite tank ready for like core fairs and hive for in any situation, and that's going to be the goal if I can stick to it. But guys, free to play. I have fun with my notes. Nick at Nick underscore ND, like the channel. Hashtag 78361 is the account, my at handle for that account. So if you would like to add me on that too, just in case, if you want to message me or whatever, there it is. But anyway, guys, to today's video. Speaking about tanking, we're talking about starship traits for tanking as I'm sitting here being an RPer in the dry dock, you know, just for Spencer. Yeah, nice pretty shot, my Justice here. Alright, guys, so trait number one is probably one of our most impactful. Like, you think on, you start at one, what's going to give you a nice bump straight away? History will remember. It's giving you hull regen, increased hull, increased damage, and increased threat generation. It's ticking all the nice boxes that we want for our tanking stats. So, C-Store trait, passively generated, so that means there's no, we have to play like this, we have to proc it. It's just passively as you're getting hit, it's building up stacks, and it's giving you more stats to, relevant tank stats, which is quite nice. So, we have, by the time it stacks up to 30, if we see here, we have 30 all damage, we have 30 hull regeneration, 30 maximum hull, and 300% threat generation. So if you look down here, like, Attract Fire is plus 100 threat generation, and Attract Fire is 300 threat generation. So with 100 and 300, so that's 400. With History Remember, that's 700 threat generation increased for that character. And then you compare it with a few other things like Fleet Consoles or Ion Storm Generator, so then you can go over like 1,000 threat generation. Comparatively to someone who's not trying to tank, they won't have threat generation at all. So 700% increase in your threat generation is quite a lot, just standard. You can go into more, but those, I find that is enough with bowels to draw a lot of the aggro. So guys, this is from the Legendary Ambassador, the Narendra Support Cruiser, which is just like the standard version for the Legendary Ambassador, the Vorel Support Cruiser, and the Legendary Vorchar Command Support Battle Cruiser. So if you have any of those four ships, you have access to this trait and access to probably the most impactful tank trait that we have. Next up, because this is an energy weapon, so for tanking, you're generally going to be using Fire at Will. And the golden rule for firing modes and energy weapons. So energy weapons as a firing mode. The golden rule is like you need an extension trait because they're not effective if they're not firing and they're not under an extension trait. So we need an extension trait for Fire at Will, And the best one that we have currently in this game is Entwined Tactical Matrices from the Gagarin. When you fire at will, it'll give you Torp Spread. When you fire at Torp Spread, it'll give you Fire at Will. So if you think about it, Fire at Will has a 10-second activation time, but it has a 20-second global cooldown. So you think, okay, my standard gets me 50%. We need the other 50%. Well, when you hit Torpedo Spread, it gives you Fire at Will. So if you hit Fire at Will, you wait the 10 seconds, and at 10-second mark, 10 to 20, you have Torp Spread proccing ETM, which gives you another Fire at Will, and that gets you to 100% uptime on your firing modes, which is quite nice. Guys, that's basically 1 and 2, like I was just saying about if I finish this free-to-play. Number 1 and number 2 Starship traits for impact on a tank would be Entwined Tactical Matrices, which allows us to have 100% uptime on our Fire at Will, and History Member to just give us nice passive stat generation for tanking. Anyway, next up we're going to talk about is Unified Engineering. So Unified Engineering is from the Baran and the Quoj. They're the same ship. They're sister fed KDF variants. I like it because the procs are tank abilities, auxiliary to structural, or I call Ox to Sif, or any command bridge officer ability. So as a tank, we run command basically all the time for Suppression Barrage 3. So hitting Suppression Barrage or hitting Ox to Sif, which is a heal or a damage resistance buff, we're going to be getting 2 self and team for 15 seconds, plus 10% maximum hull, 10% recharge for bridge officer abilities, 10 flight turn rate, 10 flight speed, and 50 hull regeneration. So with tanking, obviously if you're taking damage, you need to regen it back. 50 regen is quite nice. This is also stacking. This is a stacking Starship trait. So say 5 of your teammates are using it, you times all this by 5 and go, happy. Next up, we have Plot Armor. So Polarized Lattice Optimized Tritanium Armor. So PLOT, Plot Armor. When taking more than 20% of your maximum health in 5 seconds, gain Polarized Lattice Optimized Tritanium Armor for 15 seconds. Immune to transported warheads. So some targets like to use transport warhead module or transport torpedo warhead, and that's like teleport a torpedo into it, and you just go boom. You won't take damage from that. You'll heal for a certain amount, and you'll get 250 all damage resistance rating. So if you think about logically, the time when you're getting hit, like you go in the middle of a Hive Space Elite and you're just getting slammed and you take so much damage, you need ways of like healing that up. So passive tanking stats or passive increases to your damage resistance rating is quite nice, because you want to heal, but you want to take less damage so then you can heal more than what the damage you're taking in. So a trait like this going, okay, I'm taking in 100 because I've only got 0 rating. If I increase by 250 because I've taken so much, it means my resistance rating will go up, I'll take less damage, but I'll also heal more, and then that gives time for my team to go, okay, I'll kill everything, I've tanked it, and I'm happy. The same can be said about our next trait, but before I move on, Polarized Lattice Optimized Tritanium Armor comes from our Constitution Miracle Worker Flight Deck Carrier. That is a promo ship, or our legendary Constitution Temporal Flight Deck Carrier. So these are our Disco Connies. One's a legendary ship, one's a promo ship. Or if you're a Klingon, it's retired, the cross-faction bundle, the Miracle Worker Flight Deck Cruiser. But I believe either there's not many of those left, or there would be very expensive. So you're probably going to get it from the legendary one these days if you don't have it already. Next up, Honored Dead. So Honored Dead is, for me, I like it. It's one of my personal favorite Starship traits because I got it when it was in the Starship trait box for the Infinity prize pack. So it was like a million EC for me on like all my Federation characters back in the day. So you'd either, for your Fed, it was very cheap. For a KDF, it's very expensive because this trait is on the Sarcophagus, but it's similar to Plot Armor. After receiving 10,000 cumulative damage, gain a stack of Honored Dead, which adds 10 all damage resistance rating and 1 health regen, max 20 stacks. So that's 200 all damage resistance rating and 20% hull regen. It's all nice. As you're taking more damage, you're building more hull regen, you're building more damage resistance rating. So it's not like just heal for 20,000. It's, okay, I'm taking so much damage, So I'm going to make myself even more tanky. That's why I like it. It's a building, it's because you're taking damage, it makes you tankier. So then it's like, okay, I'm not going to be as, I'm not going to be so squishy anymore. Have at it. Try and kill me. And then you feed that in with others, and it's like, okay, it helps. Like, I like this comparatively to just say improve going the extra mile, because this just increases your healing a little bit, and it makes your health points up a little bit. Damage resistance rating, I like to increase that with a heal. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take less damage and I'm going to heal at the same time, so that it's like, okay, I'm not going to get hit for 200k next time. I'm only going to hit for like 100k so that I can live through it. All right. So, guys, that's either from now it's from the exchange, or if you have the sarcophagus carrier, which I think is now in a Muds bundle, but I don't have it myself because I got it from the exchange back in the day for like 1,000,000 AC. Next up, this is more of a damage trait, but I like it as a tank trait. It's a bit of an older one, attack pattern Delta Prime. So this is basically an improved ability. So when using attack pattern Delta Prime to the target, so yourself, because attack pattern Delta Prime, you can apply it to somebody else if you wanted to, but in this scenario, we're going to use it ourselves. So to target, 1.5 crit chance for 5 seconds, 3.75 crit severity for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. You guys, say you had all stacks of this. This is 15 crits of chance, and this is 37.5 crit severity. So as a tank, means as you're taking damage, you're building more damage. It doesn't make you tankier, but it's a damage building tank trait, which is quite nice. Speaking about getting tankier, I can never remember the name of it, but I know where it is. We have Reverberant Shielding. So this is now getting a little bit more expensive because this is a lockbox ship from the... see, I'm going to get Spencer comments too. The Sagan, the Carl Sagan command ship. I don't know the actual stats for them, but it's a Sagan cruiser. Activating any rank of feedback pulse grants you the effects of reverse shield polarity at the same rank. Activating any rank of reverse shield polarity grants you feedback pulse at the same rank. So this means you can keep 100% uptime on reverse shield polarity and feedback pulse if you time it right. For tanking, just for survivability, you're interested in the reverse shield polarity, but feedback pulse in its own right, if you were to say run it with improved feedback pulse, it'll do a little bit of damage. So it's like, if it's what you have, it's nice. But I can demonstrate it right here. I'll just swap it in for plot armor because I have reverse shield polarity on this build. So I'll hit reverse shield polarity, and feedback pulse 2 from my reverberant shielding is running. So I have both of them running at the same time. And with increased duration, like reverse shield polarity officers and all that, those are pretty cheap on the exchange. You could, work this pretty well where you would have a very large uptime or very long uptime on reverse shield polarity. Next up, we have, speaking of improved feedback pulse on the list, we have improved feedback pulse. So here we are, improved feedback pulse. So like attack pattern Delta Prime, this is when you're taking damage, building stats. So this is stacking to 10 times, so we have 10 crit chance and 50 severity. So if you say run this with attack pattern Delta Prime, you're getting like 25 crit chance and like 80, I'm trying to think of the number, 87% crit severity. So like I may not run Honor Dead and then not run Reverberate Shielding, and I might run Reverberate Shielding and improve Feedback Pulse, and I'll get increased 25% crit chance and crit 87% increased severity and make my damage quite a lot higher. So, that's a potential, because it's like, you need to be taking damage in to do it. Only a tank's going to do that consistently. So these are tanking traits. Okay, guys, and the last trait, Thunder Run from the Constitution 3, or the Connie 3 from our promo box. So, The reason why I'm picking this one, it's increased threat generation and increase defense rating and increase bonus beam damage. So that's category 2, so that's a larger increase than if it didn't say the word bonus. So it makes you do more damage, which means more threat generation, and it's standardized, has more threat generation in it. So say you're not running, you need to tank, but you don't need quite as much survivability, or you're on a science or an engineer with more captain abilities built in for survivability, and you want more damage. This is a cool trait because it's basically a tank trait, only because if you were to run this on a DPS build, 2 out of the 3, you're not going to get use of. You'll get use of the bonus beam damage, but the defense rating and the threatening stance is just not going to be any use to you. These are tanking stats. So that's why I listed here on the tank list, not the damage beam build list. Anyway, guys, just a few honorable mentions for me. I can scroll through, like free, the best defense, plus hull healing, not amazing, but it's something. Sentient starship, it's not massive, but it's increased healing stats. Same with regenerative cycle. There's not a lot. Like we have I think it's improved going the extra mile. Plus 15 increased shield and hull healing, so you could do like a combo shield and hull tank and just get the most out of it. But you see, it's no increase to damage resistance rating, so you're going to be taking the same amount of damage you were before, just healing a lot more, and so on. And as always, you could, like on my support tanks, the way they run, let me scroll down to it. Superior area denial. So there is a idea, I wouldn't say idea behind, but if things don't take long to kill, they don't have as much time to do damage to you. So you could run debuffing traits if you don't have the more defensive rating ones. You can run the debuffing traits, so things take less time to die, so you have less time to take the damage. So the quicker the things die, the less damage you'll have to take. So and it's a trade on, okay, things will die, so I don't need to take so much. Depends. You find that happy balance, what works for you. Anyway, guys, that's going to be today's video. If you like this video, please like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Special note on the free-to-play. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe not this weekend stream, because this weekend stream is a budget tank build. So I have a community poll going in my communities tab. So guys, if you want to go vote on that to see what I'm going to run, vote on that, please. I think last time I checked it an hour or two ago, the science was winning over the engineer. So it's either going to, I think right now, by the way the poll's going, it's either going to be a science or an engineer. The tack's basically out. So I'm going to pick one of my science or engineer characters on the day to run, and we'll build out a budget tank. The free-to-play, guys, let me know if you want to see that built as a tank, or you want to see that built as something else. Let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, guys, if you have any questions furthermore in depth, join my Discord. I'm active in there. I have good people in there looking at the chats when I'm not around. I'm also looking, not too hard, but I'm also looking to add to the moderating team of my Discord. So currently it's generally myself, Steven, and the B team members, Rob, Cables, McStew, Spencer, Brett. They're all kind of keep an eye on my Discord. We keep an eye on each other's Discords, but I'm looking to add to the moderating team of my Discord. So guys, yeah, that's it. If you got questions, jump on the Discord. Nice people in there. I'm in there to help out where I can. And I'm gonna that'll be it for today. I'm gonna say thank you for watching. If you've gotten all the way through, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.